wake up to this beautiful day that I haven't went outside to see, and I haven't seen daylight in 3 days. But I'm going out there today, believe that. I woke up today to be fully awoke, consciously thinking about everything I'm going to do today because I can't put it off till tomorrow, even though I know that I'm eternal. I don't fear death. I love life because I love knowing who the Creator is. I'm starting this day off saying good day to you and wishing a good day for you and hugging you while hugging me, sending out vibrations to you of how much I care even though I don't know you. But I say this to you. The truth is the truth. And it's one way. It's one way to create something out of love, to be a creator. To love creating something without no material motive, but the material motive of that material motive is to help. That material that you made to matter is put into the atmosphere to matter to everyone. Meaning, today is how much of the truth we gonna see when it comes from the people that's supposed to be the most truthful, and that's the people that you pay to be your doctor or your lawyer. When you think of these two people, you can actually put your life in these two people's hands when you seeing your doctor or your lawyer. So when you look at the doctor and then you look at the lawyer and then you gotta look at the all that's happening right now. Not all, but most of your doctors and your lawyers are liars. Because I'll say to you, for you to think for you, what motivates them to do for you when they're getting something out of it? Would they do this for you if they wasn't getting nothing out of it? It's time to start thinking about what's really going on. Not just in you, all around you. But you have to start knowing that it all matters from you. Who is in between you, loving you? You already got the Creator's original name, love. So I'll say again, who is in between you, loving you? No human body. Because everything that was given to you is in your body. You gotta shine outward. The creativity in you is the creator of you. That spark before the smoke of fire. That unconditional love that you feel through your five senses to know that you are alive. In order for you to get the smoke of the fire, you gotta be the one to put the electricity there. And that's the electricity of the Creator in you for you to care. The spark is only one way, but you have choices in your life. Because we all live in this earth suit and we live in it right. Let me explain that for you. Straight is one way, and that's to create in love making between a man and a woman. There's two rights to being almost wrong. When there's your right hand, and that's right. It could be right because man put it into law. So when you think about what the truth is, to know what you're talking about is to really be in tune with love within you, which is the creator of you, to know real life. You have to be done went somewhere to know what I know and to be back here to say I'm sending out all the vibrations of love and good for everybody to have a good day. I send out extra vibrations to Haiti because in the state that Haiti's in, Haiti needs some time from us to just sit still and take it in. They're going through some hell on earth. But it's in you to do what you feel to do. It is what it is. The truth is the truth. And here we go with a little anonymous before I call up these doctors and shit with all this bullshit with this medicine. When you think about how our government,
when you have a government that operates without limits, who proclaims the right to arrest, torture and kill anyone, anywhere, with no warrants, no trial, no due process, when you have a government that militarizes the police and grants the armed forces the power to operate with impunity, within your own borders and beyond, a government that views you, the people, as the enemy, and treats you as such, when you have a government that lies to you, takes you into wars of aggression, toppling country after country, killing countless innocent civilians, and sending your sons and daughters, and your fathers and your brothers home in flag-draped coffins, or disfigured and broken in mind and body, their lives destroyed.
now I stopped there to say this. I've been saying to you soldiers, I despise you, I spit on you. If I could kick, I would want to kick you and have a straight up. You would be the only person that I would really want to have a physical fight with. Because I would want you to be saying to yourself, why are you fighting me? And I'll be able to say to you, because you killing innocent women and children and men. For what reason? Who's pulling your strings for you to be a killer? For what reason? That God bullshit that you believe in is part of your reason. In God we trust. That's what you trust in. The money that you getting from your God, the one that's telling you you can kill. It's okay. That's your God. The twist that you believe in the sky that you gonna be alright when you say some Hail Marys. The mental turmoil that you gonna go into mentally after you do your first killing or right before someone kills you, your feeling where you gonna go mentally when what you put down come back around for that ass. The begging that that person did before you killed them, yours gonna be worse and not twice as bad, 4 times. Because when your time comes, you're going to have your mama in mind. Because you're going to know that she didn't create you like that. You chose to go that way, believing in that bullshit. God and the Jesus was going to save you in your bullshit. But the love to feel and know the truth is not no bullshit. As real as you can pinch yourself, you can feel that with one of your senses, baby. But I say something else to you soldiers. Y'all are lazy. Because to push a button on a screen is not like getting close up and strangling you, a human being here. Because then you'll get to feel with your hands that life you snuffed out when you killed a man, little boy, little girl, or a woman. The truth is the truth, and it's only going to set you free in the only place where you can be free, and that's where your start at, in the womb. You start off as a heart, and your first start is the spark, the feeling of the unconditional creator, that rhythm, that beat. That's your heart. That's the beginning of you. That makes you. That's the first thing that you be too. Be exactly who you are. Because I say to each and every one of y'all listening, there's no such thing as hit today and gone tomorrow. Hit today, gone today, because no one's promised tomorrow. The truth of the matter is, the only thing that matters is the now. What are you doing to better the circle for all? Because if you thinking your reward or something, let me rephrase that. If you think your reward of doing something bad to someone else is good because at that time that you did it, you got what you wanted, that was your reward for doing it. When the circle of life on what you did, knowing it wasn't right, but it was right for that moment, I told you there's two rights, but there's only one straight. But anyway, right for that moment, when the circle of life go around, what goes around comes around, you're going to get that same moment back. And that moment won't be the same as that moment was when you did what you did knowing the facts that you was wrong. So back to you soldiers. I despise you. I don't hate nothing in this world. But I can hate on a soldier that killed knowingly. This is innocent women, children, and some men he's taken out of this world. How can that not weigh heavy on your heart? Because I don't care how dark, how black, how ugly you think your heart is red and your heart pumps blood. But you might have some kind of brain tumor or some food that you eating that the army giving to you because they want you as dumb and docile as they can have you, but they want you functionable. But what happens when you lose your limbs and shit? You'll be just like the rest of the veterans. How did I end up in that shit? Because it ain't nothing but shit. Y'all killing innocent people, man. And then when you think of these games, oh, these games don't do nothing but make y'all take the claim to fame about killing. But I say to you again, you so-called brave soldier, you so-called supposed to be men and women, don't kill with no gun. Don't kill with no knife. Get close up to that person. Do it one of the rights. Breathe the same air as close as you can be to that person and see how much you care when you right up on them. You right there. You're not far away pulling the trigger. I guarantee it won't be the same. As easy as you can say black or white, brown or any night. Kill that nigga. Your kids are learning how to be soldiers in these games that you're allowing them to play thinking they just games. They're learning tools. They're showing your kid that always being on defense, always wanting to be first in charge. If you're the best, you'll be the one to be able to rule over everybody to make them roll. But see, that's the reason why everything is so twisted up in this big old bowl of gumbo. Gumbo bullshit. When I say gumbo bullshit, I mean the gumbo that you eat ain't nothing but some dirty water with seasoning in it and roadkill from the sea. Because inside this body is the loving creator, which is life. So why would you put something that you had to kill first to get into the body? You supposed to live to eat, not kill to eat. Because eating is just energy. Animals kill to eat. Insects kill to eat. We are conscious thinking people. Why you think the elephants are so big and they don't eat no meat? Because they doing exactly what they was created to do. They're following in nature. We the ones, the only ones that's consciously thinking and out of order when you're not in harmony with nature. When a conscious thinking human being here living out a conscious thinking experience all together, not one together, two together. How can you ever think that you're consciously thinking when you always want to be first? First is a lonely place to be when everybody is shooting at you. See, if the first people would have stayed the first people, we wouldn't have this sequel. Because the first people, us, the mixed up people now, the mutts, the ones that was the best slave for our blood to be rolling in our veins right now, to be constantly thinking and not be insane after everything has been done to us, especially me. My ancestors, they dead and gone, and they carrying on to what I know and feel. So I'm saying what's really real is exactly what I went through, the type of shit that can kill. And that's from the beginning of my life to the beginning of my life. To know I do this here right, my eternal life, I get to remember this one. So, like I say again, the truth is the truth. It is what it is. We are conscious thinking people. So just think, people. Think for yourself now. You was taught not to know, but to believe in what you was taught to not know the love unconditionally, being the creativity in you, being the creator of you, you being a creator too. That unleashes you from any type of bondage, because it'll be better for you dead than enslaved doing what you don't want to and getting beat because you're doing it just to survive. That ain't surviving, people. That ain't surviving, people. Especially when you think about it. We are the people that makes the world go round. Why are we getting stepped on? I'll say it again. We, the people, make the world go round. Why are we being stepped on? We have enough bullshit in this world today. We have enough technology in this world today for nobody to be drinking dirty water. But we're allowing the rich sons of bitches to use technology against the people doing for themselves. I'll say it again. We're allowing the rich sons of bitches to allow the people to take technology to the place where they don't do nothing for themselves. You're not creative anymore, people. That's where you're losing yourself. But you see, when they take away all the trinkets and shit, that's when you're going to really lose yourself. Because you never really got in tune with no one else. Because you was always caught up in the God and the Jesus bullshit, where in God we trust is on the money, and y'all trust in the money more than you trust in yourself, because you believe in God and Jesus more than you believe in yourself. So therefore you'll never know the power of the Creator in thyself. The sunlight was created for us to get up with. Believe it or not, the sun is the one and only divine light of life. Because if anything happens to the sun, all life here on earth and in earth is done. Why do you think it's the one that you raise up to? Why do you think it takes you out of the dark into the light? But until you start thinking like you, being a creator too, knowing that the Creator is in you, knowing that the Creator loves you unconditionally, meaning no matter what, you are the creation. Why would the Creator destroy or hurt the creation when the creation is just created one way, to create in love, knowing the opposite sex attract that man and that woman, knowing each other to come together literally in each other, to be in heaven, to create the Creator's original name, love making, to create another one of each other's. That's how us all got here, people. We all one of each other. What the fuck we live then? Let some rich sons of bitches separate us from each other. That's what I've been trying to say. The Creator put it this way, and it came out perfect. How can we allow a certain amount of people to keep us away from coming to each other. Once we come to each other, and I ain't talking about the other, coming together as one unit, baby, to create something magnificent. And that is not a utopia, because we're going to always have one or two that want to go against the grain. But we can build it all together in love. It can't be the same, because this is not a one together journey. This is a two together journey. Because think about it, people. The truth is, two is better than one. When the creator, which is inside of you, have no hands, use yours to get the job done. But you have to know first who the creator is in you and not outside you, and stop worshiping to what you was taught to, just to control you in the bullshit that you are living in that bullshit too. Because a lot of y'all believe so much into religion, y'all could never believe in you. Because the first thing you'll be saying is somebody putting some kind of hoax on you. Nope, nobody putting no kind of hoax on you. You are starting to think for you. And now you're starting to feel that you've been using your mind too much and not your heart. Because when change comes, it comes from the start. You gotta change your heart in order for your mind to change. Because your senses are the divine. And the divine wouldn't be divine if the divine made you do anything. So I don't know why you're waiting for God to show you something. The Creator just gave you life. Now you have the will to go straight and create something. It is what it is. You keep on waiting on God and Jesus to come, you're going to be waiting. And you would definitely get nothing but a pray and a prayer. And that's about it right there. Because you have to move something. Back to the anonymous. Man, I'm sorry.
Joined in wars that serve only to line the pockets of an unelected cartel of bankers and corporations, when you have all of this right in front of you, so blatant, so clear, you shouldn't have to be convinced that both parties in this political puppet show are owned and operated by the same interests. And you shouldn't have to be convinced that these overrated corporate popularity contests that some call elections are distractions that will achieve nothing. And with this understood, you shouldn't have to be convinced that the system you are living under must be brought to a halt. These are obvious conclusions for those who have been paying attention, so we won't try to convince you here. This video focuses solely on how to bring that system to a halt. Think of it as an instruction manual for a revolution. There are those who will be taken aback when you start using the word revolution. Revolution, the act of revolting and overturning the current power structure, is an extreme measure, one that should be handled with extreme caution, and in most cases they should be avoided. Revolutions are dangerous in every sense of the word, and it is difficult if not impossible to predict their outcome. But there are times when allowing those in control to stay in control is even more dangerous. Right now the question you need to ask yourself is this: are we at that point yet? Can the current system be reformed? Revolutions begin with a no, and they end with a yes. Revolutions begin when you say no to those who claim to have power over you, and revolutions end when you accept a new status quo, a new normal. Whether that new normal is an improvement or not, the causes of revolution are numerous in form, but there is one common root, and that's discontent. Discontent is the emotion that builds and builds under the surface. It is a storm which brews in the mind of the people, just waiting to be unleashed. The trouble is that it is much easier to unleash that storm than it is to get people in agreement as to what should come next. It's not easy to get people to see eye to eye regarding what needs to happen after the current system falls, so this is usually put off. or avoid it altogether. This is a serious mistake. Without clear objectives, chaos usually sets in soon after the old regime falls, and then in the power vacuum that is created,
Because
a
what's
tyrant
happening to
rises
me
to
right
bring
now,
order.
I know
As a
that
result, the systems that follow
shit's about to get
revolutions are
bad.
often just as totalitarian or more totalitarian than those
Because
that
back
they
in the day,
replace. It should therefore be
you'll have all
abundantly
kind of
obvious
news
that
people on
discontent is
this
not
here,
a
all
sufficient
kind of
driving force
bullshit.
for a revolution. That is, if your goal is
You can
actually
see
to
the
leave
I
a better
don't care
world for your children and
bullshit
grandchildren.
going on
In
right
order
now.
for an upheaval to have positive
But
results,
those
it
of you who
must be
don't
driven
care,
by clear and
y'all better
realistic vision.
realize
A vision that accounts for the
not
world and
caring
things the way
when
they
it's
actually
your
are right
time
now,
for somebody to
not the
care
way
for
we
you,
wish
you're gonna
they
be
would be or
wondering
hope that they
why
might
they
be.
don't care.
And it must differentiate between that which can and cannot be changed in the short term. There is nothing more dangerous than armed men with utopian dreams. So let's be realistic, shall we? We the people are divided. We have divided ourselves into classes and subclasses: liberals and conservatives, libertarians, anarchists, socialists, anarcho-socialists, monarchists, state-based free market capitalists, anarcho-capitalists, resource-based economy advocates, and more. There is absolutely no chance that any one of you is going to convince all of the others that your way is the right way. Unless, of course, one
Yep,
of
I
you
can.
rises to political power in the fray and enforces your beliefs by the barrel of a gun.
Give me a
This is the
chance.
way
I
it
can
usually
convince
happens
y'all
throughout
that the
history, and
power
this
is
is what you
in
must avoid
you.
repeating. A
All you
movement
have
has
to
only
do is go
successfully fixed
into the
odds with an
groove
idea
of
that is
not what
strong
you
enough to take
believe
root
in,
in the
what
mind
you
of the
know.
population,
And you
and
know that
inspires and
coming
motivates
together you
people
can
to
go
spread
better
it.
than you
It is
just being
possible
one.
for a diverse
I'm
and
just
divided
saying
people
the
to
shit is
form a
really
coalition in
simple.
times of great
But
need and
those who
unify
stuck
around
on
an
stupid
idea.
and don't
But
want to
it
be
only
straight
works
because they
if
know
that
that
idea
straight
meets the
gonna show that they
following
been
three
stupid all their
requirements.
funky ass
1.
life
It must
are
articulate a
those
clear and
ones that
defined common
will
interest
not
which will allow
and
the people
shall
to work
not
together.
want
The
the
necessity
truth
for
to
unification,
come
even if
forward.
that
I'm just
unification is
saying.
temporary,
One
needs
way
to be
is
evident to all
straight, and that
stakeholders, and
is
it
to
must be
create
accompanied by a
in
sense of
love and
urgency
not
that
having
compels
no
people to
material
reach out to
motive,
others
but
in their
to
community and
create
spread the
this
idea.
here for
2. A clear
everybody to
vision of what
relate
you are working
because they
towards.
know that
What are
it
you
came
going to
from
replace
love.
the current system with? Ironing out the fine details isn't actually productive. What's needed is a broad and abstract vision based on principles. In human societies, extreme and abrupt changes are usually destructive. All efforts must be made to retain social stability, and this means steering clear of any sort of utopian fantasies. The time to rewire humanity is not during a period crisis. Historically, such attempts usually end in tragedy. 3. A plan of action and a clear understanding of the rules of engagement. We'll refer to these three elements collectively as the conscious revolution paradigm. You don't have to get mystical about it, it just means think before you act. Let's start with the common interest. Establishing our common interest is easy if you are informed. And if the people around you aren't informed, then your job is clear: inform them. Whether you consider yourself liberal or conservative, or none of the above, the bankers and corporations which hold the puppet strings of the state have placed us all on a path that leads to complete and total destruction. Our common interest is the world we are leaving our children. The clear vision of what we are working towards is much harder. Again, there is nothing more dangerous than armed men with utopian dreams, and there's no greater symptom of utopianism than the illusion that we can convince the entire world to accept one monolithic belief system. Yet at the same time, all great movements are driven by an idea. They are driven by a vision. How do we resolve this apparent contradiction? How do we find a common vision without falling for the naive fantasy that we can unify all worldviews? The answer is actually pretty simple, and that's a good thing, because only very simple ideas can be transmitted from person to person without breaking down. Our vision must start with the foundational understanding that there is not one single right way for humans to live on this planet, and that it is unacceptable to force others into any system without their consent, or to use violence or coercion to compel them to obey a set of rules that they never agreed to.
See, now, it's a straight way, and the shit done broke off to the point where you gotta settle with the bullshit. Because the straight way to create is between a man and a woman. Anything else outside of that realm is not going with nature. Nature is go straight. Nature does what nature do. That's why nature prospers better than you, because you are conscious thinking people, and that's where y'all lose at. Because the conscious that you think with has been taught to you to think the way that your conscious think for you to believe in some bullshit, not believe in you.
One system that everyone can fit under. Rather, we need to figure out an approach which facilitates multiple systems side by side. What would that look like? Imagine a network of small voluntarily formed communities bound together in loose federations that cooperate for mutual defense and trade as needed, with decision-making taking place at the local level. It's a simple concept, one that has been applied many times throughout history. The most striking example, however, is the Iroquois Federation, which unified 6 tribes each with their own cultures and traditions. The Iroquois Federation existed before the arrival of Columbus and lasted until 1779, when they were conquered militarily by the U.S. Many historians believe that the Iroquois Federation served as the original inspiration for the United States, the most striking difference being that the Iroquois Federation never had a central government. No one at the top had the power to force the member tribes to do anything whatsoever, and yet this system worked well. So clearly this is not a utopian fantasy. It is a viable option, and it's the only option that can be enacted on a voluntary basis. The final element of the conscious revolution paradigm is the plan of action, the strategy and tactics, the short-term and long-term goals, and the structure of the movement. First, let's start with the top-level strategy and move towards tactics. Some think of revolution in terms of bullets and bombs, but this is a misconception. Revolutions are about pulling the pillars of power out from underneath the state one by one until it falls. The state leans on 3 primary pillars of power. 1. Control of the group mind, ideas and beliefs. 2. The control of money, finance and thereby human activity. 3. The monopoly on violence, and the use of intimidation to extract obedience by fear. There are 3 stages of a revolution. They are sequential, and they correlate directly with the...
I stopped there to see this here. I know for a fact that they have more than one, being me, that's been unjustly treated by paramedics, by nurses, by doctors, and by the city of Houston. If we, as the people, go into City Hall on a Tuesday, we talking about every person that has some kind of grievance right now. Go to City Hall. Shut that down. To the point where, yeah, they bring in the National Guard, the police, and all that. Because we need to stop states. We need to shut states down. We need to stop the state and say, hold on. We need to switch this. We need to start this over. You see? Because our politicians ain't doing shit for us as the people. Our politicians that are governing their lines in their pockets. But we as the people are struggling. We as the people are losing jobs to answering services. Why? Because the business ain't making enough money. Why the business ain't making enough money if it's getting tax cuts and shit? It's them bullshit that these rich sons of bitches is pulling the strings on. But like I said again, the people make the world go round. We need to say fuck that bullshit. Cause like I said again, they gonna probably kill me. But Houston, Texas gonna feel my rapture because I'm coming inside City Hall this Tuesday. I tried last Tuesday but something came up. But this Tuesday I'm gonna be inside City Hall. But like I said again, the truth is the truth. And the truth is gonna come out to everything that didn't have to me is some bullshit that I done came here to Houston, Texas and been endured in. I'm talking about all of it. 3,600 hours of it. So like I said, audio and video. I am created for this. This is my shit here. I'm I'm more stronger now than I ever was because of the truth now. Fuck all this bullshit. But that's what should happen. The state's people should take back the state's people's state. Can't wait till the fucking president. All them bitches a bunch of lying sacks of shit. We got Bush, bitch ass. We got, what his name is, Obama, bitch ass. Then we got Hillary Clinton, bitch ass. Then we got Donald Trump, bitch ass. And then we got Bill Clinton, bitch ass. That's all 5 bitch ass presidents right there. Period. Why we need this bullshit, man? That's all bullshit games for the rich motherfuckers that's playing us as funky piano keys. When we the people make this bitch go round. We can't fight them against us. Think about that shit, people. We can't fight them against us. Our soldiers are our stupid, dumb, fucked up in the mind, asshole kids. The old people are running them like puppets. They asshole, stupid ass, funky ass kids that's believing in the bullshit God and the Jesus and all that shit. That's what they believe in. That's why they stupid ass, funky ass kids being ordered to kill innocent fucking people. It's some bullshit, people. It's all bullshit done to us, the people, by a certain amount of other motherfucking people that's living it up. Y'all think about that shit. We had our fucking tax money bailed out the fucking banks. We bailed out the same crackers that laid up there and crashed the banks in the first fucking place. And once we bailed out the fucking banks, the banks turned around and foreclosed on 500,000 more homes and put 500,000 more families on the street. We the taxpayers did that. We the taxpayers that's paying for all these tanks, these guns, and all this other bullshit that the government is getting. Like all the bullets that the government bought with the taxpayers' money against the people. They ain't buy those bullets to go to war. They bought those bullets to take those bullets out of service for the people to get them. Y'all don't see this? All because y'all belief system is the system that y'all was put in to believe in the bullshit that y'all was taught to. I don't have no material motive but the material motive but for you to find out the truth is in you. That's where the power comes from. Ain't no God come out the little sky that picks you up out your bed to let you know you're alive, to get your ass up and go brush your funky ass teeth. That's the motivation of the Creator, for you to go straight. Not to the left, not to the right, not backwards. To do something straight in your life, you asshole. Can't you see? So I say it to you like this here. If you ain't doing right, just know one thing. You can die right now. You ain't promised tomorrow. That here today, gone tomorrow bullshit is the bullshit that you believe in. This ain't no hocus pocus. See, I've been where you trying to go. I'm just trying to go back. Well, which I already know I'm going back, but I'm just want to go back with me remembering all the facts. I know why we all was created. We was all created to help one another get through the rough times. Because it's always going to have rough times when they got somebody with hate in their mind and heart. But no matter what, everybody's heart pumps red blood. Unless it's something man created. Because man created a lot of bullshit. Believe that there. I'm just saying. I'm Mr. Glasses, back to the program.
The 3 pillars of power. The first is the ideological revolution. This is where we undermine the belief systems which support their control. This is where we systematically erode at their illusion of legitimacy, their aura of power. We expose these criminals for the scoundrels that they are, and we inspire discontent among those who the state depends on for its functioning. If you're new to this, welcome to the party. It's already in full swing. And guess what? We're winning. The powers that be have lost control of the dialogue. and they know it. The second phase of the revolution is strategic non-compliance, or more accurately defiance. This can take many forms, and multiple approaches can be used at the same time. The goal of strategic non-compliance is to interrupt the chain of obedience for as long as possible, as many times as possible, to publicize that interruption on as large a scale as possible, to document the police and or military brutality that follows, and to distribute that footage far and wide. The purpose of this is to damage the ruling party's image, because power is all about image. It's all smoke and mirrors. Once that image starts to break down, this inspires others to disobey. Monkey see, monkey do, and when this catches on and contagion sets in, it becomes a force of nature, like a tidal wave. It's all about reaching critical mass. What's crucial to understand here is that revolutions are almost entirely psychological in nature. In this context, building confidence is the most important element. Therefore, it is better to do small successful operations and build up from there, than it is to start with large high-stakes events. The third stage of revolution comes when the people have built the necessary momentum to take the monopoly on violence out of the hands of the current regime. In the best of circumstances, such a transition can be relatively peaceful, but this is only possible when a significant portion of the police and military have taken the side of the people. The police and the military are the enforcement arm of the state. Without them, the powers that be have no power at all. Faltering governments almost always resort to brutal repression to attempt to stay in power, but this is often a fatal error. Even one refusal to follow an immoral order can set off a chain reaction that destroys the illusion of authority they so carefully cultivate. Once that happens, game over. In East Germany on November 7th.
I stop that right now to say this. I told Dave the other day, I told Dave the other day that if it was any state, if it was any state that could start something that's beautiful, it will be the Lone Star State, the 5-star state, the 5 senses, like the 5 hand that's strong. You can close that one fist and it's mighty. And we the 5-star state. This is the state where the cowboys started from. This is that state that could lay up there and make the rest of the state relate to. This is that state that can turn this United States into the new United States, where all the states are ran the right way. And that's not one of the two rights, it's one of the straights. And meaning there's two rights. There's your right hand, and this might be right. Man made it right. He put it in some law book saying that it's right, but it could, that right, be wrong. So straight is one way to create for all. And Houston, Texas is that state that if we the people take this state back from our state officials, this could be the state that could change it all. Because the powers that be is fucking it up for everybody. And I ain't talking about just no black and white. When you look at the brown and the crackers, yes, that's what I call y'all. The browns and the crackers. I want you to look at the Chinese, the Asian. Our government has fucked over everybody, every nationality, because think about it. The United States of America, the old United States of America, the one that's burning, the Babylon that's gone, that's history. We gotta bring in the hour of the Aquarius. We have to wake up. We have to turn this into what we want to be in. The people shit. Fuck the state being in control. The people are the ones in control. Fuck the president being in control. Fuck, we get rid of the president, all the rest of them, and the states run their own shit internal. We don't need that bullshit. We don't need that bullshit. It ain't like people are jetting out of the states and doing different shit in different states. No, because if that's the case, somebody's doing some secret shit. So all the secrets need to fucking be squashed because the people don't need no fucking secrets. So we don't need no secret societies or none of that shit. They can have all y'all Qs and y'all Kappas and all that stanky bullshit. But all the shit at the top of the monopoly got to fucking quit. Because the truth of the matter is inside of the fucking people, and it's inside of you, you dumb stupid thinking like you've been taught to believe in the shit you've been taught to believe in, like you ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking sheeple. You got a motherfucking mind of your motherfucking own. Some of the shit you've been thinking about, you might have been thinking was wrong, but the shit was right because it was coming from internal in you. It was coming from the creator of you, you stinking sons of bitches. But you have to find out the truth for you. And those of you that's living on this lie, ice skating on this lie, let me tell you the truth. Break it down, John. The truth is the truth. Slippery, so lies can't hold on. Lies just slide off, and the truth carries on. In a utopia of the Creator's perfect world, but in Babylon, the truth is as twisted as a pretzel stick and twice as salty. But the trip part about the truth is we can live there and bend this lie completely out of commission. Because all we gotta do as the people take the states back, state to state, to let the motherfucking masses know one thing. Our police ain't fake. And our police ain't being no puppets to you. Our soldiers ain't being no puppets to you. They ain't killing no innocent people here in the United States of the new United States of we can do it. America can.
1989, the Communist Party ordered the military to put a stop to mass protests which had been growing throughout the year. The commander of the army refused and ordered his men to stand down. This sent a clear message that the Communist Party was no longer in control. This realization spread rapidly through the population and communism fell. Now, since this is such a crucial element in the equation, it's not something that should be left up to chance. Every effort needs to be made to right now reach out to the police and military, to help them wake up to what's going on and to let them know that the people will support them if they break the chain of command. Now that we've outlined the big picture, let's look at two other key elements. Leadership and organizational structure. Our current system relies on a hierarchical chain
this
of
is the
command.
state that we should do this
Which
in.
allows a small
This is the
handful of
state that
individuals
stopped
to
them
control
from doing
everyone
some
else.
bullshit.
In
Because this
sociology,
is the real, this is the Lone Star State.
If our long-term
This is
vision
the
is not
state of
compatible
the
with such a structure, it
policeman.
would be
This
foolish to build
is
a
the
resistance
state
movement
where
which
I
couples it.
used to
The
love
ends don't
Officer
justify
Friendly
the
when I was in
means. The
school.
means will determine
This
the end
is
result.
that
So
state,
if
the
we want a
Lone Star
decentralized,
State, the five
non-hierarchical
fingers
federation
of
of
the
autonomous
law.
communities
Here,
to replace the current
yeah,
system, the
y'all
movement
know it's
must be
corrupted, but
decentralized and
y'all know that at
non-hierarchical
one
as well.
time y'all was
This
straight
doesn't
with
mean
it.
that there is no place for leadership.
Even though y'all
To
was
the
against the
contrary,
slaves,
leadership is
but y'all was
essential.
about
The
something
distinction
right
needs to be made
when y'all were
between
doing it
leaders
a
and
certain
rulers.
way.
Leaders walk
We
ahead
just
of the
gotta go
crowd.
back to that there.
Rulers place themselves
Oh
above the
yeah.
crowd. What
I
is
know I'm
needed
here
is a
for a
vast
reason.
network
I
of
know
leaders,
love. Coming
even
in a minute.
capable of thinking for themselves, working to organize groups both locally in the real world and online, unified not by obedience to a single leader, but unified by an idea. Now, while this approach does present challenges logistically, it has the advantage of making it virtually impossible to destroy the organization merely by getting rid of one or two leaders. A distributed organization structure is much more resilient. So where are these leaders? Well, don't wait for them to appear. We need you to be one of those leaders yourself. If you don't know how to be a leader, learn. Dealing with crowds is a skill, one that you can refine through practice and study. Anyone who wants to learn the basic psychology of uprisings and how to work with the public should study the following books intensely, reading them each several times, taking notes and reflecting on what they
Nope,
say.
I can't
The
read.
Crowd
I'm going
and the
by
Psychology
exactly
of
how the creator
Revolution by
makes me
Gustave Le
feel.
Bon, and From
And I ain't gonna say
Dictatorship
make
to
me feel,
Democracy
allow me
by
to
Gene
feel.
Sharp.
And I
Now, a
feel
word of
good.
warning. These books contain politics,
I feel
opinions,
good.
and prejudices that we do not endorse. However, they do offer a great deal of insight as to how to take
So
power
good.
out of the hands of a
So
tyrant.
good.
We Censorship
I
takes
got
many
you,
forms and can
knowing
mean
you
many things
in me.
depending on the
Ow!
situation.
So good,
However, the primary
so
job of
good.
leaders is
Cause
to
I
inspire
know
people
you.
to
I
take
don't believe in
action,
no
to
bullshit.
organize people into groups so that they can be more effective than isolated individuals, and to train others to do the
The
same. The final
bullshit.
element needed to start your revolution is tactics. In the realm of violence, the state has the definitive advantage, and it would be foolish to engage them where they are strongest. Instead, we should use tactics that engage them where they are weakest. Fortunately, there is no shortage of nonviolent tactics which have been proven effective in toppling dictatorships. Gene Sharp's book From Dictatorship to Democracy lists 198, but those are by no means the only ones that can be used. The tactics employed by each group will depend on the mission and the specific goals of the group. The military divides itself into Army, Air Force, Navy and Marines so that each can be specialized in the tactics of the terrain where they fight. Likewise, a non-violent movement should have specialized groups for specific issues. This is already developing.
See, then I
Whether
can't
you start
read
your own group,
or
join an
write, so
existing group,
I can't
or
really
act
get
as an
with none of y'all
individual
that's
will
doing
depend
this
on your
shit on the
disposition.
computer and
No
shit like
one
that.
can decide that for you. The most important thing
I'm
is
gonna be
to take
alright
the
though.
first
Shit,
step
I
and
do it
to
by
start
myself.
doing something, anything.
I
Take
already know
action
I'm
and
not
break the
one.
inertia of passivity.
I'm
This is
many.
how you take back your power, 1 millimeter at a time. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive.
Y'all
We
don't
do
even
not
much know.
forget.
Y'all
Expect us.
done woke up a sleeping giant. I'm a sleeping giant. Y'all done woke up, partner. And when I say y'all done woke me up, y'all fucked over me on March the 5th, 2013. Now I'm gonna get all that back. All that's coming back now, buddy. All that's coming back now, buddy. Something because the truth is the truth. Period. Fuck all the bullshit. And for me to sit here and just think about everything that done led up to this, that's a lie now. And what I'm about to do now is let me stop this. See, yeah, here we go. This is the bullshit. I'm about to call up and find out after I said what I said the other day. Somebody should have said something different. So, call me a lawyer up right fast and see what the happenings is with this shit. Yeah, Mr. Lawyer, Google. Civil rights lawyers.
Connecting. This call may be recorded.
Welcome to Crockett Law. My name is Kirby. I'll be assisting you today. Is your call concerning a new case or an injury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what type of case are you calling about today?
It'd be civil law. Well, it'd be civil. It's basic questions that I have through dealing with this here, and this case here that I'm calling you about is one of many. But I'm just gonna say the one that I'm dealing with right now is a doctor telling me that I was HIV positive, and me believing that doctors know best. I was getting ready to start HIV medication and everything, and if it wasn't for my own provider, calming me down and everything after I had the little breakdown and everything, I would end up taking the medication the next day instead of going further and searching and finding out that this was a doctor that I reported to the board 3.5 years ago, and then I wasn't HIV positive, And this doctor came back to my room to explain to me after I had talked to the infectious disease guy about the medication that they would start me on and everything. And I done reported this here, ma'am, a year ago. And I'm getting a runaround for from this here, and I'm understanding the understanding, understanding, getting why this is happening is because it's a big old cover up that's going on ever since March the 5th, 2013, when the paramedics stopped my ambulance from getting to the hospital. So they've been trying to kill me ever since I've been telling the truth about all the bull crap that's been happening to me here in Houston, Texas. And I not only been telling the truth about it, people been saying that they didn't do this and they didn't do that, but I got them on tape lying. And it's like Houston, Texas already said that Houston, Texas would never be that place that has the black eye of no one knowing that I was in an ambulance that I called 911 for, and it stopped en route to the hospital in front of a police station where they threatened me with bodily harm and incarceration, all because I told them I didn't want to go to the hospital that they were taking me to, and we explained that in my house before they took me out my house when I was with my provider, where they brutally disrespected me inside my house. But they knew that once they get me inside the ambulance, they could do me anything that they wanted. Now, like I said, that happened March the 5th, 2013, and then it happened to me again August the 27th, 2013, to shut up all the complaints. And then it happened again to me 4 years ago, 4 times, and they said that even on tape, my word don't mean shit. But what just happened to me last year with this doctor telling me that I was HIV positive and I wasn't, and then I did more research on it before getting on this medication to find out that this doctor was doing that intentionally to get me on the medication. And when he came to my room, he told me the reason why I was diagnosed with HIV was because they're understaffed and it was the nurse's fault. And I have him on tape telling me this, and it's been smushed under the rug, and ain't no one calling me back, and I done reported this here. And do you know that they put me out the hospital? So like I say again, I'm fed up with all this bull crap.
Yes, sir, I do understand, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through a situation like this. So are you calling about a medical malpractice, or are you calling about
I'm calling.
the city?
Okay, this one I'm calling about the whole thing, the city. You see, I'm calling about the city. I'm calling about Molina Healthcare, showing me how much they care. They actually came and did an investigation, sweetheart. They came to my house March the 5th, 2013. They changed the paperwork. They changed everything on it. And then I went in front of the mayor. And the mayor justified those paramedics for stopping my ambulance because I have anxiety attacks and those two paramedics fear for their life. I'm 126 pounds and I'm a paralyzed man. What could I do with two fully functioning paramedics weighing 500 pounds combined? So, like I said again, I have that whole incident that happened to me inside the ambulance on tape after they had said that they didn't do me nothing. So, like I said again, I done been through enough to say that I got 3,600 hours of audio and video of everything that happened to me since I came here, since Katrina. So, like I said again, sweetheart, it just happened to be alive and know who you are. And what I mean by know who you are, man don't even much know who you are because you are the queen bee. When you look at what do the ants do for the queen bee, what do the bees do for the queen bee, what do man do to the queen bee? See what I'm saying? ABC. But like I said again, I died in all this here to know one thing. Man was created to be a conscious thinking worker bee for the queen bee to be here. To make sure that that queen bee has everything she needs in order for her to be here until it's time for him to plant a seed into that queen bee to be here. And then and only then that man will be a father to his kids living here. There is no such thing as our Father in heaven when the Son is the only one divine light of all life. If anything happens to that one and only Son without a mother or a father, we all die. So, like I say again, I committed suicide in this shit, and then I end up giving up my life to get my life back, to know what's right, and to tell you what the Creator's original name is, and it's love. Because I can give you 4 periods of your life. I can give you 4 words that start with L, that ends with E, that sums up your life in 4 stages, and I can give you 1 word that sums it up how we all came to be here, and it's the Creator's original name. So, like I say again, darling, that God bullshit and the Jesus coming back to save you shit, that's all man-made bullshit to put you in a groove to control you in. So like I said, it's time for people to wake up and start thinking that all the power is in you to go straight. And one way to go straight, and that's to create, and that's between a man and a woman. Knowing each other, knowing that they have to have the responsibility for when they come together, literally come together in heaven to create the Creator's name, to love making, to create another same as themselves. Come on, girlfriend. I don't need no help. I just need somebody to tell the truth. I ain't trying to get no liar to be my lawyer. I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get somebody that's going to tell the truth. And I am here to tell it. I died to have it. Because where you trying to go, I'm just trying to go back because I've been there.
Okay, sir, I do understand, but I apologize at this time. We're not handling these type of cases, but I can give you a number to the American Bar Association, and they'll be able to help locate an attorney for you, okay?
And I thought, sure, I'm going to get somebody else. Give me that number, sweetheart. I'm going to call them again, too. Because, like I said again, right now, nobody really want to know the truth, especially some truth that is as bad as this. And that's why I said somebody going to get rich. Because I got a lot to tell, and I got a lot of backup to tell it. Because I don't need no lawyer to benefit. I don't need no lawyer to be there to say what happened to me when I can explain it to happen to me better, right or wrong. The lawyer just know all the little secrets that's in the
Right.
book. But I appreciate talking to you, sweetheart. So just give me that number, and I'm gonna get him a call. Maybe I get somebody that's gonna do something. Cause like I say again, nobody ain't doing nothing because they don't think that I can stand the test of the time, but which they don't want the time or the truth to come out. But it's coming. It's coming. This is the hour of the Aquarius, and I am a Aquarius. Okay, what the number is?
Okay, sir. That number is 800
Hold on
285
1-800 285.
2221.
And I thank you, sweetheart. And you go ahead and have you a beautiful, blessed rest of your day.
Thank you, and thank you so much for calling our law firm. You take care, okay?
I always will, sweetie. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you for calling the American Bar Association, defending liberty and pursuing justice.
Oh,
Your
fuck
call will
y'all.
be
That
recorded.
bullshit.
Please listen to the options as our menu has changed. If you know the name or four-digit extension of the party you wish to reach, press 9. If you are calling for assistance with one of today's webinars, press 1. If you are an ABA member or calling on behalf of an ABA member or to join the ABA, press 2. If you are a group administrator calling to discuss group membership, press 6. If you are part of the general public calling for help finding a lawyer or other legal assistance, press 7. All other callers in the ABA does not provide legal advice or attorney referrals. For a list of referral agencies in your area, visit us
Nobody don't
online
want
at
to do the truth.
findlegalhelp.org. Again, it's
Mm,
findlegalhelp.org.
mm, mm,
Please hold for additional assistance.
mm, mm, mm. Let you go through just to put the truth out. I'm Mr. Glasses. I'll get y'all up something later on. Bunch of bullshit.